This nostalgia is cold water attacks. And I think when we've been doing these nostalgias, I'll just preface real quick, like, that I feel like there's two categories. Ones that are totally specific to us and help explain why we are who we are and why we do what we do. And then there's the ones that I think everyone does. Now, I think every Chuck's Chaser has at one time or another in their life been pranked with cold water in the shower. It was a consistent routine in our house. In a previous nostalgia, you'll have heard Paul mention that when we were left home alone, we would often indulge in longer showers. Very luxurious.
They were nice.
Showers with actual hot water and ridiculous.
Attention to personal hygiene.
So if anyone from Center Elementary is watching this now, you know why I stank, which I didn't really. I didn't.
You sure?
No, I'm pretty sure.
No, I didn't stink.
Anyhow, it sort of turned into a contest where as soon as we got in these showers when we were home alone, and of course all of us knowing that the others were enjoying the hot water and stuff, and it became so routine that the cold water would either the cold water handle would be turned, because it was it wasn't a dual dial, it was just one knob for
I remember doing that when Ian would be taking a shower.
Paul would like sprint in, and
I'd either sprint in or I'd sneak in if I could, and he got wise to it pretty quick. I'd sneak in and go and then take off.
Especially, and it got to the devious point where we didn't always have opaque curtains, and at some point they switched to glass doors, and so you could see like lather, so it can't run out of the shower, especially because you get water on the floor, and that would be a whole trial in of itself. But you just sit there and take it, and it actually became a contest. Like, can you take the cold water? Like, oh my god! And it was very much. It became an imitation of the Ultimate Warrior. They had this, like the typical shower bar, but there was a real tiny one up on the little area where they kept the, shampoo bottles and stuff. So we'd grab onto the bar and, and then Paul would return like 30 seconds later, a minute later, and it became a contest. Like we'd check back in, like, is the water still cold? Are you still in the shower? Were you able to handle cold water? And I'm pretty sure
showers were very dramatic for us. There's a lot of events that surrounded showers.
I'm pretty sure I hold the title of being able to take the cold water the best.
Yeah, I would gladly agree with that.
Anything to add, Paul? We very rarely did it to Paul. It was mostly a way for Paul to terrorize either Jill or me.
Yeah.
We did try to get him back every now and then, and we would do the bucket of cold water, I think, at least once. And I know we got him at least once with a bucket of cold water right on.
It depended. It was really hot and cold with that, very literally. As far as whether I tolerated it or not. Sometimes I'd just be like, it's a prank. And sometimes, if I was feeling particularly insecure, I would exact my dominance over them with beatings. For that, but we would always do a couple different ones. We'd do the stealth hand in there, and we would always, what I would do is I would lie below where the tub was so they couldn't see me, and I was thin enough at the time where they couldn't see me, and then when the shampoo would happen, they knew I was distracted, I'd sneak in and turn the cold water on, and I'd stick around for the yelp, and then I'd take off. And then I'd pretend like I had no idea, because sometimes it was loud enough to have Mom and Dad take notice. Sometimes it was the Dixie cups full of cold water, where I'd get like 4, and I'd put them in between my fingers, and I'd open the curtain real quick and go, bah!
Or over the curtain.
Over the curtain was
And sometimes there was like, you just throw the Dixie cup and hope for the best.
Sometimes I threw the whole Dixie cup.
And how are we supposed to keep a 4-minute shower? How are we supposed to keep it to 4 minutes with all this going on?
With all this bullshit happening.
Incidentally, that is about the way. If this nostalgia right now were a shower, we'd be getting hollered at through the bathroom door. And we were never allowed to lock it, by the way. That was another thing. We weren't allowed to lock the door in the shower. And for a long time it was because there was only one bathroom, but even after the second bathroom was installed, the powder room, it was so they could maintain that authority.
Yeah.